Hey guys, Miguel here from Coding Reps, and I'm here to talk about a topic that I think not many web developers, well, some web developers do find it important, but a lot of them don't because a lot of them focus on maybe the back end or just the functionality of a website. So, why is CSS important? CSS is very important because the client, right, the people that buy the product, the people that actually buy the web development creation you've made, want to see something cool, right? They want to see something that looks good, right? Because their customers are going to see that, right? So if you create a product that doesn't look good and doesn't have good CSS, right, then your customers aren't really going to find that attractive, right? And the clients aren't going to find that attractive. So it's money for clients, basically. So if you have really good CSS designs, clients see it as my clients are going to like this. Okay, so that's more money because more people will want to use my site because it's more pleasurable to use. It's visually more appealing. It's so that's sort of the in a nutshell why CSS is important, right? And as a web designer, you if you're going to do projects from start to finish, if you're going to work for a company and just focus maybe on back end, then maybe you don't need to learn CSS. Okay, that's just the reality of it. But then you're not going to have the freedom of maybe becoming a freelancer, right? Or starting a gig on your own, or maybe being able to do client work, right? From like your attraction of clients instead of like working for a company that have their clients and doing just specific like bug fixes or back end stuff with databases, etc. Right? So it's very important to learn CSS because you can sell to your clients a much better product, even if the functionality of the product in the back end isn't that good. The client, what they see, because the client doesn't understand about backend. They don't understand anything about that. They just understand what they see and how usable the product is. So that when you click on a button, does it look good, right? When you hover over it, or like does the site have a coherent design that allows the your customers clients to sort of navigate towards the sale easily, right? Is the user experience good on the site, right? That's kind of the general gist of it, all right? So that is why CSS is important. And when you learn CSS, you learn how to position things that you see in a design, right? So that's what I teach basically. That's what I do every day on this channel. Every day I do a video teaching you, well, showing you how I approach copying a design. Okay, every day there's a video on this channel of me copying a design. I'm going to do it every day for as long as this channel lasts. Okay, so when I stop doing it, I will announce that I'll stop doing it, but it's not going to stop anytime soon. Okay, because I want to improve my skills and I want you to see me improve my skills in real time. Okay, and to get good at CSS, that's all you need to do. You just need to copy design every day, 20 minutes. Okay, I do it for a bit longer because I like it, I enjoy it. Okay, and I just want to get as good as possible at this because if I get really good at CSS, I know that I'm going to be better at my job, and I know the client opportunities in the future and the jobs that I'm going to be able to achieve in the future are going to be better, right? Because not many web developers focus on this a lot. Okay, it's really important. I'm not telling you you have to be like a UX designer, okay, but it's very important that, for example, if you start your own gig, okay, you can hire a UX designer to make a design for you, but you have to be able to copy that design as exactly as you can, okay, as accurately as you can, and to do that, you have to be very good at CSS and HTML, obviously. But yeah, so and then there's also something you have to bear in mind with HTML accessibility. Depending on who's going to use your website, you need to make it accessible to, for example, blind people, right? There's this thing called VoiceOver where they can tab through elements on the screen, right? And basically that VoiceOver tells them what they're on, right? The element they're on. So it's good that you have also a good HTML structure on your site, and for SEO reasons as well, right? That you have the right header tags, the H1 tags, right? Because those are the ones the SEO spider when it crawls over your site, it sort of looks at your site at a glance instead of like the deeper the keywords you want to position for are nested in your site, the harder it is for that spider to crawl and find those keywords because it has to go through millions and millions and millions of sites, right? So it doesn't have the processing power to go through the specifics of every single site on the web, right? There's millions and billions of sites on the web, and it just doesn't have the time to do that. So obviously if your h1 tags are nested in a very high level of your HTML, it's much easier for that spider to find what it needs to find to position your site where it needs to be positioned, right? And same with the content of the site, right? The higher up it is in the nesting of the site, the easier it will be for the spider to crawl basically and find that content. So yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell why you need to be good at CSS and HTML. It's not really, I don't think it's groundbreaking information, but it's good to have this reminder, I think, every once in a while to understand why you're doing the things you're doing. I've found that a very important part of my daily motivation. When I have a clear why of why I need to do something, it's much easier to do that thing because I just wake up every day thinking, okay, I need to do this because I want to get this, right? So for example, I want to be really good at CSS because in the future when I do client work, freelance work, I'm currently working for a company, so I'm very happy working here, but in the future, if I need to do that, I need to be prepared. And even for my company, the better my CSS skills are, the better solutions I'll be able to offer to my company as well. And the closer I will be able to copy the UX designers' designs, so that they're actually Figma designs or wireframes, right? The UX designers make, and you as a programmer have to be able to copy them as exactly as possible. And the better your CSS skills are, the closer the solution you can give to what the client actually wants, or because the UX designers are the ones that understand sort of the client, how the client navigates the site or what the client wants to see. So the closer your designs, your programming is to that design, the more value you're going to be able to offer to the company, right? And not many programmers know how to do this, right? Not many programmers put in the time to learn how to do this properly. So the more you can improve in CSS, the easier it will be. The easier of a job you'll have as a web developer, and also I just feel that I get motivated when I see good designs, right? So when I've built something and I see it looks good, I just feel like, man, I did a good job. You know what I mean? I did what I was supposed to do, you know, and I get motivated because of that. And I don't know, it just makes me feel like I want to keep programming. It kind of gets me more addicted when I see that I'm making good designs, when I see that I'm actually making professional sites, right, or sites that look professional and look like customers could actually use it. I'm like, damn, I'm doing good, you know. I'm progressing. I'm making progress instead of just because when you make a functional site, the progress isn't visual. Human beings were visual creatures, right? So when we see something that looks good, we just feel good about it, you know. As a programmer, when we see something that works well, okay, you get the feeling that I did a good job. I made this work. I fixed this bug, or I did X, right? But when you see something look good, it's just way more primal, you know, like your brain just processes that in a different way. And it's the processing is much faster. That sort of pleasure feeling I think is way more intense, you know. So I think that's one of the reasons you need to get good at CSS and HTML, because I think it would just give you more pleasure as a front end web developer. Okay, so that's it for my rant. It's been 8 minutes just talking about like why it's important to get good at CSS. As I always say, stay strong and keep coding, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.